What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. Welcome, everyone. So, before we get into everything that is this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors, like I say every week, every rumor that I'm about to read to you is exactly what it is. It is a rumor. We can speculate as wildly as we want, but until that rumor is proven fact, true by the company, promotion, or the person the rumor is about, they remain what they are, rumors. So with that, let's get into everything that is wrestling with rumors. So WRKD Wrestling claims that while Damian Priest and R-Truth are beloved backstage, there is a growing frustration over a lack of variety and competitionness among the SmackDown tag team scene. Well, when you're a company that released a fair chunk of your tag team division, yeah, there is going to be some frustration and a little bit of lack because of, well, the lack of tag teams right now, because a lot of the tag teams were released right after WrestleMania. So I know that WWE, since that release, is in the middle of rebuilding their tag team division, but they didn't have to. They had some good tag teams, but when you release a lot of them, you know, you're basically telling yourself you're starting over again. So yeah, I get that. So it might take a minute for them to restart, which is why probably what we saw this past Saturday between Damian Priest and R-Truth and the War Raiders might turn into something, whether it's for champion versus champion type of match with both championships, the AAA tag team titles on the line against the WWE tag team titles. It's possible we could see that, but we will see. But yeah, when you release it, yeah, I can understand the frustration because of, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that WWE released a lot of tag teams this past spring. So according to Corey Hayes, Ray Phoenix is looking at a run with the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship, similar to the run Penta has had with the Intercontinental Championship. Absolutely, it feels like that's what it is, whether he's defending the AAA Cruiserweight Championship on AAA or on SmackDown. This past Friday on SmackDown, Ray Phoenix defended his AAA Cruiserweight Championship against Nathan Frazier, and those two put on a classic of a championship match. The thing about WWE and the Cruiserweight division is that they're having a Cruiserweight division has been up and down, and it's mostly their fault. They number of times they've tried to have a Cruiserweight division, they just haven't really been able to hold on to it, and I think that's because they don't want to. I think that's because WWE is more about the heavyweight and the middleweight than they are about the Cruiserweight. They do have Cruiserweights on their division, but as far as having a Cruiserweight division, it hasn't been easy for them over the last couple of decades. So the fact that WWE once again has this Cruiserweight division by owning AAA Lucha Libre, I think they're better. I think it'll work this time around because they have this Cruiserweight division through AAA Lucha Libre. I think it'll work this time around. But Ray Phoenix, AAA World Cruiserweight Champion, absolutely. I feel like I agree with this rumor right here that he is going to have a run like his brother Phoenix, because the match that he and Nathan Frazier was a classic this past Friday on SmackDown. So I really feel something like that we're going to see a lot of those kind of matches, whether on AAA on Saturday night or maybe the occasional Friday night on SmackDown. Absolutely. Per The Observer, WWE is hopeful Chad Gable's new theme will catch on and fans will start singing along to it. I don't know. It has a 1980s montage feel to it, like you're watching you're watching a Rocky film or something like that. It has that kind of feel to it. But as far as fans starting to sing along to it, I don't know. I think WWE is giving Chad Gable's theme song a little bit more time with fans versus WWE giving the Usos time with their theme song that they tried out, and they only tried it once, and it was in front of a Madison Square Garden crowd, and then they stopped using it after that. So they're giving Chad Gable with his new theme song a little bit more leeway than they did with the Usos new theme song. But yeah, it has like a 1980s montage feel to it. I'm allowing it some time. I'm going to give it another couple weeks before I really have an opinion about it. But right now, I'm kind of iffy about it. So, TNA seems to be seriously considering adding some kind of mid-card women's championship, according to Fightful Select. At one point, a tournament had been planned for July to crown the first champion. Fightful's not sure if Tommy Dreamer's exit and other changes at TNA has impacted, in quotes, pun intended, those plans. I think this rumor kind of speaks for itself. I did hear something about TNA wanting to add a TNA Women's Television Championship for that mid card. So we'll see if hearing that is true, and we'll see if that turns into something. But I think for the most part, this rumor kind of speaks for itself. But if you have something you want to add to this rumor, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Go ahead. For whatever it's worth, WrestleVotes heard some talk that TNA is interested in signing former WWE star Apollo Crews after his 90-day non-compete clause is over. Absolutely. I think how Cedric Alexander has been doing in TNA, he's been doing fairly well in TNA. He's been thriving in TNA fairly well. I think the same thing could happen for Apollo Crews. I think Apollo Crews going to TNA is a good fit for him. I think it would work out well for him. I think the matches with those on the roster he would be really good. I think, especially, I feel that Apollo Crews, especially going for the X Division Championship, would be a great match. Whoever is the X Division Championship after Slammiversary, I think Apollo Crews would fit perfectly in that TNA roster. Regarding the rumored new championship that's coming to TNA, Wrestling News Over Radio's Dave Meltzer says it is a Knockouts television title, which is something that I brought up just seconds ago. TNA will likely make the announcement before the end of Sunday's Slammiversary pay-per-view. Now, as this has posted on Sunday, whether you're watching this before or after Slammiversary, go ahead and leave it in the comments about whether or not a new championship was announced for the women at Slammiversary, and if there wasn't. And let me know what you feel about that championship being announced at Slammiversary and how you feel about how it might go. And if not, if there wasn't, then no worries. You don't need to leave anything on the comments. TNT's TV schedule shows that AEW Collision will air on 2 different Thursdays next month, July 2nd and July 30th. It's being moved off Saturday, July 4th, due to the debut of TNT Boxing. Excuse me. The latter schedule change is likely to avoid going head-to-head with Night 1 of WWE SummerSlam on August 31st. On August 1st. I think for them to move to pardon me. Got ahead of myself. Furthermore, there is a lot of speculation that TNT Boxing's monthly events will force AEW Collision to be preempted one Saturday each month and presumably moved to Thursday night when that happens, going partly head to head against TNA Impact. So overall, I think there are two reasons for Collision to happen this coming Saturday. And that one of those reasons is because of the 4th of July holiday. Absolutely. I think that would be one of the reasons. But I think the main reason is because of TNT Boxing. But this one really also speaks for itself a while. I don't think I really need to add anything about it. When you get to when you have those Thursday nights, when you have both AEW Collision and TNA Impact, that's a good night for wrestling fans because you have options. You can pick AEW or you can pick TNA or you can watch both. You know, it's beautiful to have options for pro wrestling fans. You know, I love it. It's great. I mean, not great for the company because now they got to go head to head on once a month on Thursday, but nonetheless, it's good for wrestling fans. Per votes, there is speculation in the WWE locker room that the go-home episode of Raw before WrestleMania 43, or also known as Saudi Mania, next year will take place in London, just like this week's go-home Raw before Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. WWE in London, whether it's Raw, whether it's SmackDown, whether it's a PLE, it's always a good time. So that's cool. That's cool. PW Insider claims there was internal unhappiness within WWE this week after the entire episode of last night's SmackDown was leaked online. It's not clear how exactly that happened. This is one of those things that I've talked about a few times about spoilers, about how spoilers, especially for pro wrestling events, whether it's AEW, whether it's TNA, whether it's WWE, when they are pre-taped before they air, and someone goes ahead and spoils the whole thing and ruins it for many people. This is one of those things. This is another example to what I say about spoilers being a cancer in pro wrestling. You know, these days it is so hard to keep a secret, to surprise fans these days because of social media and how things are today, that everything is out before it actually comes out, and it ruins it for everyone. The emotions, the surprises that you yearn for, that you want, that you look forward to in pro wrestling are hard to come by, are hard to get. It is always fun to speculate, to throw out rumors to see if it will, if it won't. It's fun to do all of that stuff. It's fun to fantasy book. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it. This is what we do here on Rumor of the Day and Wrestling with Rumors. Absolutely. But when you seemingly know the results to a show or a match, and you knowingly and willingly just throw it out there online for anyone that wants to know, without watching it, or for those who want to watch and come across it accidentally, it's ruining that feeling of how that match was going to be, what was going to happen in that match, the sequences that was going to happen in that match. When you lay it out and detail it before it actually happened, you take the surprise out. If there was someone returning or someone trying to DQ the match or whatever it is, it ruins that. So this particular rumor just adds more to what I have been talking about how spoilers are a cancer on pro wrestling, and they need to stop. So I understand fully the frustration about how an entire episode was leaked online for SmackDown. Absolutely. Over this past week, it was a battle to dodge the spoilers, but I was able to. And getting through that episode of SmackDown, I enjoyed myself. It was a good episode. It was a final 3-hour episode of SmackDown. This coming week's episode of SmackDown goes back to a 2-hour format. And I'm going to have to try to dodge that one too, because it's also going to be taped because of the 4th of July weekend. But yeah, spoilers in pro wrestling are a cancer. Yeah, absolutely. So, fun fact: this past Monday on Raw, the Street Profits once again are tag team champions, and doing that, the Street Profits become the first tag team to have won the NXT, Raw, SmackDown, WWE, and World Tag Team titles. That is a huge accomplishment for a tag team that is the Street Profits. So a huge congratulations to them, and I am looking forward to what comes next for the Street Profits as WWE as World Tag Team Championships. I know they're probably not done with the vision yet, but this is a good start for them, and probably a rematch will probably happen at SummerSlam, more than likely, but we will see. TKO heavily using AI in their for their WWE storylines. This was brought up not too long ago, that TKO president Mark Shapiro called the company's embrace of AI the company's embrace for AI a major priority before confirming its use in WWE storylines. Now, it's not surprising. They are using AI for their storylines. Not surprising at all. I brought this up on a few episodes about like a month or so ago. I brought this up about the idea of AI being used in professional wrestling and sports entertainment, whether it's for storylines, whether it's for like promo, whether it's for like vignettes, any of that. So and you've seen it a couple times with NXT. They did it for a Zarya Soruka video. They did it for that. WWE has used AI for their vignettes and other things as well to help them with editing and stuff. But for them to use it for their storylines, yes, I heard there was something else I read. I didn't put it in here. I probably should have. But they did use it for a storyline. I believe they used it for WrestleMania 43, for WrestleMania this past year, WrestleMania 42 for Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I believe they did. But it's not surprising that they're using it. I brought it up before. I just feel that that artificial intelligence in storylines, I feel it helps creative in that, absolutely. But I feel that a person that a person will be able to do things that AI won't be able to do. I think that's obvious. When it comes to developing storylines in WWE and the emotion and the feeling that comes with writing it, about how it goes out, and the collaboration as well, when a writer is working with the talent to put the talent or talents when putting this story together. So it's not surprising they're using AI. I just hope that in using artificial intelligence, they don't forget to be more contributive, that they're not completely relying on it, and that they're using it for a little help, but the writer themselves is actually doing the writing and contributing and working with the talent or the talents when it comes to putting storylines together. My fear is that writers will be completely reliant on AI, on artificial intelligence, to completely write the storyline and just go over it and just like how it's written. And that's basically what it's coming from TKO and from Mark Shapiro, as he says that AI is a major priority, and it shouldn't be. It's sad that it is. It's sad that's what we're getting to in the world, where everything we're slowly relying on AI, and we shouldn't be fully relying on AI. We shouldn't forget that we are the original AI. That this right here is unlike anything else. Is unlike any technology. The most we are the biggest in technology, human beings, and we shouldn't forget that we as our own we are AI ourselves, and we are being able to do things, and the things that we are relying AI to do, we are able to do. So we shouldn't forget that, and we shouldn't be completely reliant on AI. I don't know if that made any sense. I hope it did. In my head, anyway, I'm gonna just moving on. But I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, this really one last thing: the storyline of the Bloodline has been streaming through both Raw and SmackDown. Now, the MFT was a chapter within the book of the Bloodline, and that chapter of the MFT has seemingly come to an end this past Friday on SmackDown, as Tala and Tama had a conversation in the back with Solo Sikoa, mentioning that they got word from the elders, and after saying that, they told Solo that they were out, and they walked away from Solo Sikoa and the MFT. Now, whatever the elders said, that's point blank. That's what you do. So whatever the elders said, it put Tama and Tala in a position where they needed to leave. I think the other thing is that Tama and Tala, I think they were already there and already thinking about leaving Solo based on how the last couple weeks were going for them. So it made sense that once they got word from the elders, that I think that they were already ready to leave. So they just left. And what comes next for Tama and Tala, I think it all and somehow will fit into this Bloodline story, this war that Roman Reigns says is coming. Now, when he says war, I think it all comes to a head this November, Survivor Series, War Games. I think it all comes together there, comes to a head there. I think him saying war, we're getting there. And I think at some point, Solo Sikoa and LA Knight will be on the same team. It's not going to be just like that. Like, I think a lot of people thought it was going to happen this past Friday on SmackDown when Solo and LA Knight were in the same ring and they were talking, and Solo was trying to understand what is going on. I think it'll get to that point where they're working together, but I think there are a few steps that are going there. So what comes next? Man, I do not. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting couple of months moving forward, as far as this story of the Bloodline goes, as it's connecting through Raw, through SmackDown, and everything we're in a whole new part of the Bloodline story in this book, and it's some good TV. We're getting there, and I feel that Zilla. It has been word that Zilla Fatu has signed with WWE. I don't know if that's true. It's right now in the speculation. We're in the speculation phase on it, whether or not it's true. But if it's true, it'd be curious to see what side he falls on. I think, and I believe that he would probably fall on the side of Solo. But we will see. Zilla is the son of Umaga. Zilla's father is Umaga, R.I.P. So, but it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see if Zilla does actually sign with if he actually did sign with WWE, and instead of going to NXT, he goes right into the main roster, and whether or not he goes to Raw and ends up joining the Bloodline, or goes to SmackDown and ends up joining Solo Sikoa. But we'll see how it all goes. We'll see. I think we'll see how it all goes in the next couple of months as we have up next we have SummerSlam, we have Night of Champions, which is in October. It was in September, but they moved it to October. We have Crown Jewel, and we have Survivor Series, and that's it for the year. But we will see in the next coming months. For now, I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and this has been Wrestling with Rumors. Thank you all for sticking with me, for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors and Rumor of the Day drops, and anything else that I put on this wrestling channel drops. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and leave a comment. I hope all you have a good, fun, and safe week. And don't forget to take care of yourselves. And I will see you all next Sunday for a whole new episode of Wrestling with Rumors. So in the meantime, and in between time, once again, take care of yourselves. See you on that next one. Peace, y'all.